What's going on YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, doing a kind of tournament diary for a friend of mine who borrowed my Prophecy deck this weekend at my locals. He ended up going 3-2 with this list, which was, I mean, respectable enough for something that you'd only been practicing on DN for about 3 days. So, I'm not really going to be able to talk too much about his matches, and I don't know the specific placing he took. All I know is he went 3-2, and I have the actual the matchups that he had. So his matchups for the first round was Chaos Piper, which he lost to. I can actually talk about that. Basically, his loss in the game 3 was he ended up swinging into the opponent, and his opponent dropped Trag. I think he only had like a Temperance. He attacked for 1,000. His opponent went Trag, and then just sat on like a 3-6 and 4-2 Trag and just beat him down. And the game was over pretty damn quickly. It was a bit of an unfair game 3 by the looks of it, but what are you going to do? Round 2, he played against a Sacred Beast deck. Apparently it was like maining all 3 Sacred Beasts, so I'm not sure what that was. And he won that round. Round 3, he ended up playing against a Blackwing player and won that. Round 4, he played against Dark Worlds and lost that round, sadly. And then for the 5th round, he played against a Madolche player and won. Either way, I'm going to get into the list. This was heavily influenced by Witzer Klutenberg's Prophecy list that was posted on Lithium 2300's channel quite a while back, because I wanted to build a variant that could play traps, and this is a variant that could play his variant played traps. So I heavily net decked it and made some changes. Like I bumped the card count to 41, I think. No, his was 41 as well, but I made a few changes, like adding Justices because he didn't play any, and I quite like Justice. But this was the list. Played 3 copies of the boss monster of the deck, High Priestess of Prophecy. Basically, this deck becomes Protect the Priestess deck. So that's basically all the explanation this card needs. So 3 Priestess, 3 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Basically starts off all your combos. 2 copies of Temperance. 2 copies. I think he played 2 Temperance and no Justice. I played 2 copies of Justice because it sets up your Priestess plays really nicely, and it's an easy +1. So I really like Justice. Double Breaker, 1 Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi was pretty good from what I observed. It put in a lot of work against Thunder King, so Tsukuyomi, and then 2 Effect Layla. So that was the monster lineup. For the spells, which is, of course, the Powerhouse, 1 Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Storm, 3 copies of Spellbook of Secrets, 2 copies of Spellbook of the Master, 2 copies of Spellbook of Fate, 2 copies of Spellbook of Wisdom, 3 copies of Spellbook of Power, because that was how many Witzer played, and I really enjoyed testing this. 1 copy of Spellbook of Life, 1 Eternity, and 1 Tower. For the trap lineup, which is I think 9 or 8 traps, because of course I had to cut the warning, because his list was for last format. Played 1 Compulse, 1 Mirror, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, 2 Torrential Tribute, 1 Warning, and 1 Judgment. That rounds off the main deck. For the extra deck, and this was a really random hodgepodge extra deck I put together because I didn't have half the cards for it, and I built it in a rush for him, so this was, you hardly ever use it anyway. I don't think you ever use the extra deck. I think you made Elf once, but 1 Thought Ruler, 1 Gaia Dragoon. Oh, this was the leftovers from my Reaper profile, actually. Exobeetle, even though you'd never make it. Utopia, Maestroke, Zen Mains, Acid Golem, Shining Elf, Dagusto Phoenix, Arcanite Magician, Tempest Magician, and Stardust. There should have been a lot more, but I didn't have spares of some of the stuff, and it was in my main deck. Then the side deck was again built really hodgepodge, built for him in 5 minutes, because I literally built this deck for him Friday night. So I did have to make this in quite a rush. 1 Tsukuyomi, the 3rd Breaker, 1 Kaiko, the 2nd Tower, 1 Soul Taker, 1 Creature Swap, 1 Defissure, 1 Compulse, double Soul Drain, and then triple Royal Decree for signing out his traps against certain variants. So that was the entire deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry I couldn't really give that much commentary on it, but there wasn't really much I could give. But otherwise, yeah, this has been Jamie the Kid 00 with a tournament diary-ish. I'm not sure what I'll title it, but I'll see you guys next time with some more YGO content. Peace out. Bye.